So I wanted to add a little bit to my last post, which was basically on the topic of money and the process that I'm going through right now. And I wanted to use this video to share a little bit about how I relate to money and work with money in my life. I know that this is a theme for almost all of us because it's central to being on earth and being able to do the things that are true for us, right? And it is such a big part of this journey. I believe that the work with money is really brings us into a state of mastery in our inner workings because money is an invitation to align to a deeper knowing of oneness. What I mean by that is that I believe we're all in the process, or we're in the process of returning to what's natural, aligning to a natural rhythm and a natural way of being. And in that, in the being able to follow our heart, to express and fulfill our truest desires, we can see where there is constriction. And where there is constriction is revealing to us the parts of ourselves that are not aligned to that stream of oneness. Because in that alignment, aligning to the natural rhythm, in every moment there is no resistance to saying yes and acting on that which our heart calls us forth into, and which often takes the spending of money to do things, right? And then we can easily see where we do things out of inauthenticity for the earning of money, out of the belief that money cannot be there when we're simply in complete harmony and joy with the things we're doing. So it reveals to us these aspects of ourselves. And those of you that have followed my journey, I shared with it, like I have gone to work over the last year and a half of doing so much alignment with money and within myself, and I still am. And this is a period for myself now where I'm invited into spending and giving a lot and just stretching my thresholds and stretching my comfort zones and working with that, which is what brings this up. And so for me in my life, what I've gotten to a place in is that I won't two things, two big milestones I think that mean a lot for my journey, which is that I will not resist in any way doing that which I'm invited forth into. So when something's clear for me and that's important for me, is there is nothing in me, even when there's some parts that will resist it, there's nothing in me that will stop me physically doing that thing that I'm meant to do. Change locations, provide for my girlfriend, or whatever it is. And that also goes the other side with that, is that I won't do anything out of inauthenticity just to earn money. Like those two things I just cannot do any longer. I can't just do something. I can't provide a program or a platform or whatever just because I would like to have more money in my bank account. I cannot do that. Which is also why you haven't seen me put out much. I haven't offered coaching. I haven't offered new programs. I'm not doing events. Easily, I could do these things to generate income, but I just can't because it's not in authenticity. And simultaneously, being able to move and travel around the world and be in the places I'm meant to be at is my ability to say yes to whatever my heart invites me forth into. And this is like, I would say, for us to align to our natural rhythm, these are two pretty good marker points for us to test our own alignment, which is, am I resisting that which I'm invited forth into? Right? Because we want to move at the stream of source. We want to be in rhythm with the flow of life, the unfolding of what wants to happen through us. Right? And if we're not able in any moment to say yes to no matter what it is that calls us forth into. I shared the sunglasses that I bought and this wardrobe upgrade that I got, and that was just a clear feeling like you got to go and do that and do that. And now I'm just about to go to a men's retreat here, or the lady in the subway that did a whole lot of shopping on my card. These things that when we're clearly invited forth into something, can we say yes to it, knowing, even where there's fear, even when there's resistance, but knowing that this is the step we're meant to take, and that the pieces later down the road will reveal themselves, and I can say yes to that. And secondly, can I truly find a place in myself where my own connection, my own sensitivity to that connection is very clear, that I can trust deep enough that being authentic to myself, which means not doing things when it's not time to do things and doing things when it's time to do things, that I won't do anything just to earn money. At that point, I feel there's a strong alignment and integrity with our soul, and there's also a non-resistance to the movement of life. And these two things are very important for resensitizing ourselves and coming into a deeper relationship with with Source, with our soul, with our own life's journey, whatever you want to call that. So there is definitely so much gold, literally, in the journey with money. And through enough willingness and courage to test out these universal truths that you actually already know in your heart, you experience the magic. You experience things that your mind cannot rationalize, and that gives a deeper relaxation into what you already know and the ability to fully live that. And I have had this now in many ways in the last couple of years. Some of the stories that have happened have just been such beautiful validations for that which I stayed true to. And each time I have some of these stories, I just relax further and open up further and align to truth even further. And so, this is a game of back and forward, of patience and stretching our own boundaries and working with our fears. Like I said, it brings us on this path of mastery. It brings us on this path of alignment to oneness. Because really, money is a vehicle, right? Money is an energy that we believe allows us, and it does, right? Allows us to do that which is true for us, do that which is exciting for us, do that which is part of our journey, right? But the real work is do we separate it? So do we separate being authentic and having money, or do we categorize everything within just being authentic and in integrity with our heart? And that, to me, is where that point of true alignment takes place. And when you're in that alignment, the magic will unfold and you'll have the stories. But definitely at this point where it's not widely spoken about, we're not just hearing stories from everyone about how they just said, fuck it, I'm not looking at my bank account, I'm going to live freely, and then the magic is revealed. No, these stories are very rare. So it's like this level of the paradigm with money, I believe, it requires a lot of faith. It requires a lot of courage, because of the conditioning around money is so deep. It's our paradigms around money are so strong and so heavy and so dense. And so we run up against these paradigms when we say, here's what I feel in my heart, here's what I see in my reality. Can I lean more and more into what I know in my heart until these evidences show themselves in my world? So that's a little bit about that, and a little bit about my journey with it. Like I said, I continue doing the work with this, and I have such a deep honoring for others that are also willing to do the work. And I like to be able to share this, as much as transparently as I can, and that, I still have fears that come up around money for sure. I still have, deep fears around that. It's very deeply wired in my system. So it's been a journey, and I continue to work with it. I'd like to be able to share more on this, and I'd like to be able to work with people in this journey, because I can see the power of doing this as community and feeding off each other's experiences. So maybe I'll put something together like that in the future. But I'm glad I was able to share this with you today. So much love to all of you. Thank you for sharing this journey with me.